Hello Virgo and welcome to your October 2019 tarot readings with me. Dear Virgo, if you're new to my channel, I suggest you please do subscribe so that you're notified every time I release a new video. So well, if this resonates with you, you take it or leave it. Alright, so let's get started. I have to tell you, dear Virgos, before starting the reading is that this month is going to be a little bit challenging for us. There are certain obstacles to meet on the way, but all in all, I think Virgos will deal with it the Virgo way. So let's get started for the first week of October. And as you can see, the first week of October shows that somehow expenditure has been a bit more recently. And because of that, some financial discomfort will be felt for the Virgo person. The Virgo wallet, most probably the Virgo account, is not very happy, saying you have been partying. Did you spend a lot? Did you gift yourself something really expensive? Not the Virgo way. But I see that there will be some kind of financial problem that can arise. It can also mean that suddenly somebody is requesting you to lend them money from the family or from friends. So before you lend it to them, just make sure you have enough reserve. Okay, it's no point in emptying yourself to fill up somebody else. All right, so always take care of that, my dear Virgo, because you would like to help, but I would definitely tell you, my dear Virgo, is that you need to take care over here of your pocket, of your savings. Concentrate more on the savings. If you're receiving this reading a little bit in advance, I would say please keep your little piggy bank on the side and try to save a little bit of money, because in the first week it shows that sudden expenditures can arise due to something, and because of that you have to spend more, and that gets you in, like, that kind of disturbs your budget for the month. So take care of that. And then we are going to the second week, my dear Virgo. And what is the second week's energy here? As you can see, it's a sword energy. That means you're dealing with some kind of administrative issues, administration. A lot of paperwork is on Virgo table. As I say, an organized mess. The other day a Virgo friend sent me a picture saying that, oh, I'm going to reply to all your messages, but I'm in all the bills, and sent me the picture of the table. And when I saw the table, I said, wow, it is such an organized mess. It was so organized. I mean, if you see my table, it's so much like a Picasso abstract. You don't understand what is what over there. But here it was like every pile was making sense over there. Just in the pictures, I said, wow, it was like an organized mess of the Virgo. So in the second week, you might have to deal with an organized mess, my dear Virgo. And you might have to deal with some administrative hassles in the second week when it comes to your papers, be it your car papers, your property papers, your house papers, your student papers, all those receipts and papers. Just please file them up very nicely and keep them now, because in the second week you might be called on to show certain papers to certain authority figures, and because of that you need to be on the top of the thing so that there is no mess. You get out of this phase very easily, because second week is a bit how do you say, it's like a minor headache that can come in. Headache, not physically speaking, but mentally speaking, in the sense there's lots to do, there's lots of things to organize, less time, and Virgo doesn't like it like that. Virgo likes when things are all arranged in the proper way, and one by one we deal with it. Okay, as I have the Virgo moon, I have the tendency to if it's everything is not coming, like I cannot deal one thing at a time. Everything comes at the same time. It stresses me sometimes. So because of that, this organization and getting yourself prepared is always important. Filing your papers and keeping it for the right time, so that if you're asked, you're not busy looking for papers, but everything is nicely arranged in your cupboard, and you provide this arranged in your bag when you travel, for example, while you're traveling or when you're driving. You have all your papers, and keep checking if all your identity cards or your license and things like this are all still on or have the dates expired, you need to take a check on that. Otherwise you're going to have a fine, my dear Virgo, in the second week. Yeah. And also don't get into any kind of verbal fights with anyone in the second week, because there is a lot of provocation that is going to come your way in the second week, where you might just lose your cool and you might feel like giving all your Virgo sarcasm and criticism to the people right in front of you. And sometimes people don't answer immediately to those critical or sarcastic remarks. They wait, and when you're most vulnerable, they strike you. So this is where I'm telling you, be very careful of the second week. Chew your words before, just to see how bitter they are. Okay, if they are too bitter, then they are going to they will lash back on you after some time. This is the energy that I'm feeling over here, and that can give you sleepless nights, and you don't want that, my dear Virgo. All right, so the second week, be very careful and be very fair with all your administration stuff, and your communication. And even if false allegations, accusations and blah blah comes your way, well, just blah blah it out, in the sense, let it go. Be like a duck. No matter what is poured, it doesn't stay on the duck's back. So be like a duck at that time, like it's okay, it's going to just, fade away, right? Don't give too much of importance to those people, because some people are going to be a bit trying in the second week for you. So keep your cool, all right, my dear Virgo, and be your practical self at this point of time. Emotions have to be kept a bit on the side at the moment. I feel the heart has to be a bit, like wait a bit and then use your brains at this point of time, the second week. And then we come to the third week. And the third weeks are lots of swords that we see, but these swords are not bad, because now what is happening is that as in the second week, some kind of hassles that, sprouted, I would say. The universe is saying, my dear Virgo, now I am going to give you swords to fight back. And this is what is happening. There are challenges on the way in the third week also. There are some uninvited headaches in the form of people, in the form of administrative papers, in the form of some kind of colds and coughs and misunderstandings, and some viruses also I'm seeing. But the universe is providing you with all the necessary energy, all the necessary resources to fight it back, my dear Virgo. And you will be given the strength to fight them back. And the third week will be much better to take it very subtly and try to see how you can avoid those things from affecting you. You need to you have to feel sometimes when these kind of conditions arise, as if there is a screen between you and that problem, you and those people, you and that whatever it is, put a screen in between, so that what happens is that it cannot reach you and directly, all right? There is a filter in between. There is something that blocks its impact, okay? Like somebody wants to hit you, so they just, they kind of punch like this. But if there is a big screen in between, they'll get hurt because, or the impact is not going to be that much. It's not going to hurt you that much. So you need to keep this imaginary screen in front of you and all these kind of things that arise in the second and the third week. And all in all, I must tell you, my dear Virgo, is that you will manage it very well and you will conquer these difficulties, because the universe is providing you, God is providing you with lots and lots of courage, lots of the expertise of dealing with it. The skills are going to come. So you're going to be like slag. So you're going to be like that in the third week, my dear Virgo. And I'm happy because this is what is required, It's like when you see somebody has a sword and you don't have anything in the hands, then you just start feeling like, how am I supposed to deal with it? And then the universe says, wow, I'm giving you 10, now deal with it. And then you are much more stronger than your opponent, than the problems, than whatever is causing that problem. All right, my dear Virgo. And then we are going to the last week. Wow, wow, wow. I see too much of administrative energy here. A lot of authority figures, lots of administration stuff going on, my dear Virgo. What have you been doing? Mm-hmm. And in the last week, you are seeing again a person in authority. It can be you also who's very, very cold exterior, but inside you're very kind-hearted. It can be a person who is a doctor, a lawyer, a police, a director, can also be the principal of a school or a college, or your senior or your boss. You're dealing with this kind of an authority figure, or your father. Yes, the father is the first authority for me. Yeah, so you're dealing with somebody and who show that they are very cold to whatever you're saying. Yeah, they're just like, the facade is so cold, as if you feel you're speaking to a stone, but then this stone has a heart that beats and is going to help you out in the last week. Very good advice that comes from this kind of a person of authority, in authority, in the last week for you, my dear Virgo. If you have been dealing with some chronic health issues, then the last week is getting you the remedy, because you will be meeting somebody who's going to suggest some very proper alimentation or proper medication or parallel medicine therapies, kind of things will be provided to you by this person who has the skills of that particular field. If you're working, my dear Virgo, then your boss or any other colleague who has an expertise is going to help you out over here. But this colleague will be one step ahead than you in that particular field. So this is how they can provide you with the proper guidance. It also can be you who is showing everyone very, the kind of a tough exterior like a stone, but inside you know what is good for this particular person, and you're providing it, my dear Virgo, by coming to help this particular person who needs your help. So all in all, I see the last week, when we are winding up October, it comes as a kind of a relief, because we are finding solutions for certain things that might arise this month, my dear Virgo. And I also see that Virgos will be successful, even if the ride is going to be a bit bumpy. I see that there is success at the end of the month. Just I would like to tell you, my dear Virgos, regarding money, just be a bit careful, just be more on the saving mode, okay? And otherwise, whatever you can invest it in things that, will reap you benefits in the longer terms. Because in the first week, somehow I see as if some of the Virgos will also feel that, I don't have enough money, my salary is not enough. And they want more money, they want their salary to be raised, but that's not happening, all right? So certain things around the work field also can be a bit of a sticky situation. But at the end, we are seeing that we are finding solutions, and the universe is providing us with the proper guidance and the proper resources in the form of the magical swords that are going to come our way. Right, my dear Virgos? So thank you very much for listening to the reading. And if it resonates, please do let me know. If it doesn't resonate, just leave it at that, okay? Because it might not resonate with just everyone, and it's normal, all right? Because these are just general readings. So I wish you all the best, my dear Virgos. And sometimes in some readings, I feel, it will be nice if it doesn't resonate. certain weeks, I feel, this shouldn't resonate with them. It would be really good. Yeah. So thank you very much. And on that, I'll say all the best and see you all successful in the month of November. Take good care of yourself, my dear Virgo. God bless. Bye-bye. Take care.